Can you hear me? Hello? No? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Well, because I wasn't positive because it says it keeps losing my mic. It shows that you're in there now. Thank you. I was typing too fast and I meant to put welcome to the podcast. And if you have any questions, post in the chat and we will get to them. My eyes are burning. Well, Jules is not on. Well, some of the things that I'll start talking about are the process of different processes of the different sorts of commissaries. So, like, whenever you're incarcerated in a county facility, usually commissary is either through like a kiosk or it's like on a paper for no, it's on a phone, like you could do it on a phone or usually a kiosk form. That's how you're able to do it because in I was in Tierra Maria and I was in Gallup, and in Gallup it's phone you have to do it through the phone, and then where else? Oh, Santa Fe. On Santa Fe, it's a paper one. Yeah, Santa Fe, because they have an inside store, so you're able to shop. They have like workers, and they can shop and then go, whatever. Okay, so anyways, whenever you're incarcerated in a prison, whether it be like CCA was a private facility or a DOC prison facility, the commissary is relatively the same because it's on a paper form and you have to submit that paper within a certain amount of time. I think it's like a week period, and you that way you can get your items or whatever. It's usually like a week period of time, just because, oh yes, and whenever you first get to a facility, because you have never been there before, it takes like a process of maybe like a week. It just depends. If you bug, it takes like a week or two. But if some people don't know and they don't get on it right away, and that way you can get your number, and you have to have this it's like a number to be able to order your stuff. It's a commissary PIN number that is different from your prison PIN number or whatever. It's issued from the business office, and that's the number. However, it's like an account, right? Like however you're supposed to shop for your stuff, and then um, you're able. There's Okay, but first, whenever you get to a prison facility, they only allow you. This wasn't the case before, but you're only allowed, I think it's $40, and 20 of those dollars, I believe, have to be hygiene. I'm almost positive, but I'm not sure. So you have to make sure that like you have enough items that are gonna last you, especially hygiene, for like a couple of weeks. I always bought extra bars of soap. No, just kidding. And I have no idea where Jules is. Well, I'm just gonna keep talking because I can't. I'm just gonna keep talking. It's whatever. Okay, so then where was I about? I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, about the amount that you're supposed to have. Okay, so then whenever you go into general population, because whenever you would get taken into a facility, a prison, you're going to like intake process, and you're in lockdown for a certain amount of, I want to say it's like a 6 to 8 weeks period. After I seen girls being locked in RDC for like 3 months time, and that's hard time because you're literally locked in your room, and they have tier time. Tier time is where you come out only for certain hours. Like you come out um on, let's say, like, I don't know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's a pretty good one. But some people have it Tuesday, Thursday, and it like rotates. Every tier gets a different time and a different whatever. So you're able to come out and make your phone calls, but there's 60 other women, sometimes 80, sometimes 120, sometimes 150 to 200, because some girls pop their doors and they don't go back in. They stay on lockdown all the time. So you're fighting with these other girls that have already used the phone or are abusing their privileges or whatever, just to stay out and whatever. So it makes it a little harder. But you have to get in a phone line, you have to get in a shower line, you have to get in, like, everything is a line. It's like the biggest saying we say in there is like, hurry up and wait, because you always, no matter where you're going, you're going to wait because there's going to be a line, or there's not going to be enough, or whatever the situation is. There's always some kind of situation behind that saying. But yeah, it's like, hurry up and wait. so so the commissary process in private, which was CCA, that was, they had a store, and a store is that our commissary facility is right on site where we are at. Okay, 90% of the times that might not even be the case, because the commissary is done outside and they ship it inside to the facility. But this one place at CCA, they had the commissary there. So the commissary workers, they needed a group of so there was a crew of commissary workers, and the commissary is done on different days, and like different units get it on different days, okay, depending on whatever month or the case may be. It goes different. So it, to make it fair, so that everybody's kind of like first or whatever, like it gets switched quarterly, who's going first and who gets whatever, because it's a lot of us, and the commissary has to be dispersed. I always used to freak out on the commissary in Springer, because the one in CCA was so like on it. They used to do, I don't know how many, they used to do like the whole prison, and I don't, no, not the whole prison, but like in 3 days they would do it. So in 1 week they would be all having a really hard time, because Springer was a smaller facility and there wasn't that many of us. It was like maybe, I don't know, 600, and we were almost 900, I think, at CCA. CCA had so many people, and it was I guess people don't even maybe even remember, but there was a lot of women. There was a lot of women there, and that was the main reason why they tried to implement the big move. But the commissary, let's talk about, okay, so then let's talk about the paper. It's like, you have this one physical, like, white paper. I wish I had one. I don't have one though, I don't think. I don't know why I would have a commissary sheet. But anyways, it's like, it says a list of everything that's on there, and it says all the food items, all the hygiene items, like all the different types of soap, like if there's Q-tips, whatever item that they sell in the commissary would be on this sheet, okay? So then this sheet has a numbers, and in the numbers at CCA, I believe the bubbles, I can't remember if they were 5 numbers or they were 6 numbers, but I know that there were more than 4 numbers because when we became state, the numbers became 4 numbers, so we didn't have to circle in so many bubbles. I know some girls that would pay other girls every week, and this was like income for girls who didn't get help on the streets to do other females commissary. Like it was a job, kind of like they'll be like, do you need us to do your bubbles or whatever, and it was just to help out the other people, you know. Some people would pay, I seen people pay $5, I seen some people pay $10 to do bubble sheets. I seen people, I don't know, I seen some crazy things when I was locked up. People paying, I seen people paying other people to clean their areas and doing some real more crazy stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. No, I'm just kidding. So apparently maybe Jules is not gonna get on today. Maybe she's busy, but I'm just gonna continue going because I I have to. And okay, so the next commissary thing I wanted to talk about was physically, once you physically fill in the bubbles, then you have to make your sheet into the it's got to be in there by like, I want to say like 6 o'clock Tuesday, whatever, okay? If not, you're not gonna get your stuff and you're not gonna get what you ordered. At CCA, there were vending machines. We had vending machines and you could order tokens. I was always so amazed at all the people that would buy sodas and like everything, you know, everything from the vending machine. But you don't have those luxuries when you're in a county facility. So when you're in like that bigger kind of setting, you know, a lot of people, they buy a lot of stuff from them. And then there's a vending machine in every pod, so you can get like, I don't know, maybe if your machine doesn't have something, you could ask a friend, hey, does your machine have so and so or whatever. Yeah, but then that's the cost of you risking and not getting the food taken, the tokens taken. Like everything is a big risk, especially at CCA. The facility was ran so much different. The cops kind of like, they had worked with the women for so long, they kind of knew what to anticipate from them and knew kind of their tricks. And you know how you, when you've been in a job for a real long time, you're real like hip to the game, you know. And they were different. And whenever we went to other facilities, we were able to, I don't know, maybe manipulate the situations a little bit different. But I feel like there still should have been more structure in the way that the move was done. And for the state purposes, we should have had more schooling, things to be able to get out and say, oh well, we got a certification in da 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 or whatever, you know. And I don't think too many women coming out of the New Mexico correctional facilities are even able to say that, you know. But I was wondering, maybe if it's not gonna get on. It's a little disheartening. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, um, some of the commissary issues that are like really things that we typically can't control sometimes. Sometimes if there's really bad weather and our commissary hasn't gotten from point A to B or whatever, we won't get it. Like maybe even if it's a holiday, Sometimes our stuff wouldn't come in, or during a certain time of the year, because it's really hot outside, they don't sell chocolate from a certain time to a certain time. There's just like certain things that goes with the whole commissary. And they have to have there's always workers, like they're inmate workers that run the commissary. In in county, I can't remember if there was not a commissary, in only in Santa Fe. At every other facility, it was all out of state or whatever, like the way that it's I guess it's not. And then CCA workers, um they were able to come, the commissary workers, they would come. Okay, so you get your commissary on a certain day, and you turn in your sheet, so then you get your commissary the following week on a day that is designated by the commissary lady, and says, okay, I'm starting in so and so unit or whatever. She gets to choose wherever she wants to start, and then she starts, and a certain amount of people get their commissary that day. Within a 3 period days, a 3 period amount of time, people, the whole facility would get their stuff. So sometimes people would have to wait, and not, they wouldn't have stuff. And then okay, wait a minute. For whenever there was like a really big holiday or something, there would always never fail that we would, like, maybe a truck wouldn't come, or I don't know, commissary was late. Whenever we decided to transition into state, they started to implement a different commissary process, because it was going to be a different um, list. And then the bubbles were, it was a different bubble sheet, but it was only 4 bubbles instead of the 6 or 5 that we used to have to do. And um, they came in and they started to tell us, okay, well, this is what's going to happen whenever you guys move. Your accounts, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to be set up. I think it took like 3 weeks for our stuff to be set up whenever we left. So they told us to make sure and like take enough hygiene, because to be able to get ready and shower or whatever for that period of time. And then they were kind of just like discussing the different process, because we were going to be not having vending machines anymore. Anybody who had tokens would have to um use up their tokens within a certain amount of period of time, because the vending machine people were not going to be filling up the vending machines anymore, because they would no longer be selling tokens. So it was kind of like this transitioning period for the women to start transitioning to state. And that was like the loss of the vending machines, and different other luxuries, as I call them, that we had at CCA, which was like a vending machine. You don't have that in other facilities, you don't have that in county, but they did have vending machines, and you could buy a burger. I want to say they were like 4.75, maybe even 6. I don't remember. I don't recall, because I bought a couple, but I wasn't like a priority of mine. Like, we would do it for birthday parties, or whenever um we're planning special occasions. They had a chicken sandwich in it. They had some. I want to say they had egg rolls, but I'm not positive. I just remember they had a good burger too. It was like a jalapeno burger and another kind of burger. I definitely remember them. And um those vending machines were great. No, just kidding. Let me get some water really quick. Hold on now. Well, then I guess we could discuss some of the items that they have on commissary. Some of the commissary items that they have are like a noodle that you would find in our regular commissary. And they have like a different variety of kinds, like um chili lime, maybe beef and chicken and chili. Um I think they had like a picante chicken, which was really good. I used to like to get the packets and I would use them in my rice. For a lot of years, probably like 4 years to the door, I didn't eat noodles for a long time. I like ate maybe a hard noodle, but I would only eat rice. The rice that we get is a bag of dehydrated rice, so it's already pre-cooked. It's just dehydrated, and you just add water to it, and then it fluffs up and it warms up or whatever. And um the meats that you get are like sausage. You can get a package of, I believe it's 4 ounce chicken. I'm not positive. I might, don't quote me. It might be 6 ounces, but it's a lot of money. I remember it's like probably, I want to say like eight or I don't know how many dollars for chicken in the packet. And it's just like a little package of shredded chicken. You can get the beef crumbles. Ooh, beef crumbles. Just kidding. And summer sausage, hot or mild. All the sausage is kind of spicy. They have well, at CCA they had, you could buy garlic and onion and different spices. They had this Goya spice that you can put on your rice. I was in fact talking about it today. No. And you could buy that stuff and you put it on your rice and it's red, but that is really, really good. Um, but commissary, you have to kind of know your way around the list to be able to shop because if not, it can be very, very pricey and it's just like the same thing over and over, you know. They sell cookies, they sell Ritz crackers, saltine crackers, they sell I'm pretty sure they sell graham crackers. They sell a jar of peanut butter. They sell jelly, and I'm almost positive that the jelly and the peanut butter together was almost $9 because I used to buy it once in a while because I'm not one of those people that really would run to a peanut butter sandwich, but when I was training, I would eat protein. I like the peanut butter for the protein because you don't get too many protein options in there. Mm, I was one of the people. I would tell people, on boiled egg day, I would trade everybody my eggs. I mean my cake, my whatever to get boiled eggs, and I would survive off boiled eggs. And I would make potato salad. I made what else? You could make some really good burritos with those. What else do they have? Oh, they have dehydrated beans, tortillas. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever order tortillas when you're locked up, you cannot order soap when you order in the same bag that you order your tortillas because it'll smell, your tortillas will smell or taste like the soap. It's so weird, but you have to like order and say, okay, I'm gonna order soap this week for 5 bars, and then I'm gonna order tortillas this week because, yeah. And it's really strange because I feel like the tortillas never go bad. Which is makes me think, do they have lots of preservatives or um okay. I'm trying to think what else was on the commissary list. Oh, tuna, spam, mm, mac and cheese, not the good blue box, the generic blue box. What else? They sell sodas, but you're only allowed to buy, I think, two sodas. I don't buy Cokes, but yeah, you can buy sodas. And then coffee, cream, sugar, all that good real sugar, cocoa. They sell like this orange drink that is kind of like Tang. They have a red one, and then they have a tea. What else? Um, oh, and a bunch of different varieties of chips, like maybe, but they're all Cactus Annie. I think Cactus Annie is a brand that they facilitate to the like facilities because they're the ones who Cactus Annie does the male facilities too. Uh, they have like these Cactus Annie Fritos. They have they have regular ones. They have barbecue, chili and cheese flavored. Those are the ones I use for my tamales. And then they also have, and when I make my tamales, I'm real innovative. I get some powdered chili from the kitchen because you always got to have a good connect in the kitchen. And you make some powdered chili. You make some red chili in the microwave, and the best way to brown up the flour, you have to get the flour from the kitchen workers too, is with some mayo because the mayo, the fat in it, it doesn't burn the mayo. The butter, because it's not real butter, or uh it burns the butter, and the it doesn't like brown right. It gets like hard. So it's better to use the mayo. And then I make a big I'm all not a big charola. That's a big bowl of red chili. And we usually, like, whoever's eating with us, that's our little family, we go and we smuggle our meat. Like, they'll be having some kind of prime rib or some kind of special meat that's not really special. We were talking about this the other day, that most of the boxes that say in the facility, the boxes say not fit for human consumption. Who wants to eat any of that after you see stuff like that? That's just really crazy, right? So for holidays, we try to make things as personable, and I always make tamales. We made tamales. um and okay, so I put the meat in the chili and I put that aside. So then I get the chips and I mash them down to dust. Then I put a little bit of garlic salt in there, and I put my spices, all that I need to zhuzh up the masa, and then you add some water in there, and then you make the masa, and then you get your little tamale makers. You have to have at least 4 people because it's really hard to make them by yourself. So then we get a plastic bag, the little ones, and you cut them in like about this square sizes with the razor across, like this, all the way across. You don't unfold the bag. You cut the end of the bag off the other side, and then you cut them all this big, and then you cut it down the middle, so it makes two, almost, it's like they're like husks. So then you put the little bit of warm water, so that your masa doesn't get real dry. And once it's like perfect consistency, you have to let it set for a little bit. Then you pat it down, and then you put your little bit of the chili mixture and the meat or whatever. If you put chicken or beef or whatever, we always use like whatever they're we would bring our turkey home. We made turkey tamales one time. I'm very innovative. When you're like in those kind of situations, you have nothing else to work with, right? So trust me, I'm gonna eat good. No matter if I'm cooking in a little box microwave or if I'm cooking in a big oven. Like the difference is it just takes a little bit more time. And then, like, one of the things that you run into is like on holidays, like especially dominant females, they're like, in the morning for holiday day, there's a big old line for the microwave. And I'm like, oh my God. So, like, whatever pod we're in, everybody's like, okay, Rhiannon, you're like third in the microwave. I'm like, don't make me act crazy right now. No, just kidding. Because the microwave line is serious business. And then I've seen microwaves, I've actually seen microwaves burn down for like a 4th of July or like a holiday. I remember one time our microwave got, and I was like, oh no, man, I was the first one running all over to try to go get a microwave. I, they were all, you guys can use the microwave from visiting, but you guys got to take it back on Monday and go get your new microwave. And I was like, okay, I'm the first one to go run over there and get the microwave. What happens is you have to be innovative because everybody wants to say no, no, no. They want to pass it off to the next person. That's not their responsibility. That's not their job. It's not their microwave. Their microwave didn't break. Who cares? Why should they have to care if whatever pod 5 doesn't have a microwave? Who cares about pod 5? They always say that's the shit stick pod. Just kidding. It's because I know they moved me in there. I moved out of there and I moved to level ones, and I was in level one for a long time. I lived in level one for a long, long time, and then I got moved out uh, of level ones into level fours. And when I moved into into, no, not into level fours, when I moved into unit four, I got rated every day for like 2 weeks straight. The STIU literally hit my box. They literally took my boxes, took my boxes, and they were like, we're not giving you your stuff back unless you have your commissary receipts. And I said, okay. And I went and I got my stack of commissary receipts and I threw them at them and I said, here you go. Well, because like that's so disrespectful. First of all, people coming in, and that's like someone going in and breaking into your house and saying, okay, we're taking all your stuff and we're not giving it back to you until you show us every single receipt, but your whole house is in disarray and you don't even know where your receipts would even be. Okay. So of course I found my stuff and I want my stuff back so I could cook whenever we get our microwave back, because they take all your stuff whenever they do stuff like that, right? And it's just like a whole process. But commissary, when that's, it's like the most important thing. And to be able to control us, they threaten to take it away. Like lots of women don't, whenever people want to get things or like get things done, you could be able to do peaceful, what do you call that, like not eating protests, like not eating for 12 hours or whatever. And then everybody's going to be like, this is going to become an issue. So then they want to listen. Why are they not eating? The women can't even stick together to not eat for 3 hours because someone's like, oh no, we're gonna lose our commissary. Everybody, once they say commissary, everybody's ready to fall down and die. But that's how it really works. Is that commissary is, I think it's like not essential, but you can't live without it, because you need your hygiene, you need food, you need, I guess you could eat in the chow hall sometimes, but I 90% of the time didn't, even because of the cooking, or I can't eat lots of spicy, or even like, I don't know, I don't know. I'm just very picky, a picky eater. So I had to eat in my the comfort of my unit. Just kidding. It really, you know what was hardest when we first got to like another facility and they didn't have stuff up and running and we had to wait for a certain period of time. But I was stocked up. I remember when we went to, when they told us that we were becoming state and we were going to lose the Goya seasoning from the commissary. And I literally bought, I think like probably like a 2 year, supply because I was like, I'm never gonna live without this because I eat only rice, and I didn't know how I was gonna not eat rice without it. So when I went to Springer, I think I ran out a year after we got there, but that was a pretty long time because they stopped selling it long before we left, and we were there probably 6 months because the commissary transitioned. They transitioned to the state commissary, like what the men are getting. Our commissary was private. It was different. Like they had weird things on there like you wouldn't even see because it was a private commissary, like Reebok shoes or like some weird thing or like a Walkman radio, Sony Walkman radio, because it was a private facility and you didn't have to wait for an outside vendor to be able to ship that in. It was right there on hand and they could pull it and give it right to you. Like it was a almost like a necessity, you know? Like I feel like they had run CCAs for so long, for so many years. They were so efficient, so when we became state they didn't even have time to deal with all the different hiccups that could even think of arising that happened, you know. Like I always think it was a great disservice to us for them to move us the way they did without the plans. They had planned it for 10 years and it should have been done way better and we should have had more organization like regarding our jobs and regarding the kind of like education that we were receiving and not receiving or whatever. Well, I've been talking for 43 minutes. Nobody else got on. I'm grateful. Oops. I'm grateful to my one viewer that's listening and viewing me. uh, if you could drop your name in the chat, is that try me, bitch? What's up? I'm grateful to all my supporters, anybody who's views this podcast. If you have any questions, I'm very grateful to the people who have supported us and have shared our content. I will be live again on Friday. I'm hoping that some people join me. If not, it will be just me. Thank you. Have a good day.